Thank you, Beth. Oakland, Alameda Coliseum, home to Raider Nation. And the faithful here are swaggering boisterously to take on the fully loaded LA Rams. The Black Hole's just a little more amped up tonight. The silver and black has gone through 9 head coaches over the last 16 years, but look who's back. Chucky's back. John Gruden, the once hotshot young star in the biz, now the 55-year-old $100 million man in the league. So Gruden's back, which means Jason Witten's here, the 11-time Pro Bowler. So glad to be with you, Witt. The big question is, will the Raiders be back? Has something he's never had before, a franchise quarterback, Derek Carr.
Yeah, Derek's a big reason why John Gruden came back. Now, forget about waiting 9 years for this guy. He's waited his entire career for a quarterback like this. And I think we're all looking forward to seeing Chucky Part 2 tonight.
He's opposite the Rams, and this Rams team is loaded. They've got the reigning Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and in Sean McVay, the Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I've been on the bandwagon what Sean McVay's done last year. He took that offense from worst to first. But what happens with that, Joe, is every defensive coordinator across the league, they study you the entire offseason. So I'm anxious to see what the new wrinkles are. How does he take advantage of Brandon Cooks? What does he do different with Todd Gurley, the star running back?
See what that second go-round looks like. They also have elite defensive linemen. So do we. We've got the 2-time Super Bowl champion, Booger McFarland, as our field-level analyst. He's hovering above the field here. Boog, the Rams acquired 3 Pro Bowl defensive stars. How does that impact them?
Well, it's going to change him a great deal, especially up front when you talk about Ndamukong Suh. He's a powerful guy. He's going to help Aaron Donald in the pass game, but the number one thing he's going to do is against the run. This Rams defense wasn't very good last year, and Ndamukong Suh will help that. Then you move to the back end. They got 2 corners, Aqib Talib. He's a press man-to-man guy. He wants to get in your face and make your day miserable. On the other side, Marcus Peters. He's a ball hawk. He likes to play off man. He's also going to go after every ball you throw at him. But the number one thing they bring, Joe, is swag and personality. They felt like this defense didn't have any swag. You bring those 3 personalities on this defense, oh, yeah, they got some swag now in L.A.
Boog, we found that out meeting with them last night. They're not afraid to talk. They got 7 Pro Bowls among them. Let's bring in Lisa Salters, our veteran sideline reporter of Monday Night Football. Lisa, you spoke to John Gruden about the anticipation of this return.
Yeah, Tess, I caught up with John during pregame warm-ups. He was standing out in the middle of the field. I could tell he was just taking everything in. I asked him, what are you feeling right now, Coach? And he said a little bit of nerves, but really more than that, he said just excited. He's told us before that this is a special, special place for him. This stadium where it all started for him as a head coach. So he's excited to be back. And you better believe he is really eager to prove to the doubters out there. He says, I know that they are out there. He's eager to prove to them that he can still do this thing. So more than anything else, John Gruden is ready to get this thing going. Tess?
16 seasons, the longest gap between stints of the same team in NFL history. And he's opposite his once understudy, Sean McVay, the Coach of the Year last year. Did that at 31, the youngest head coach to ever win the award. Rams won the toss. They defer. The Raiders will receive.
You talk about an electric atmosphere down here. The Black Hole, this crowd, they've been waiting on this for a long time, Joe. They are going crazy.
And you can hear the roar as Dwayne Harris set back, and the Pro Bowler Greg Zuerlein, a veteran, strong leg, kicking ace for the Rams, will get us underway. And he boots that right through the back of the end zone. So Derek Carr, John Gruden says everything we do here is about him.
Yeah, Derek Carr 2 years ago, this guy was an MVP candidate. Last year he fell off a little bit. He had the bad back injuries. Team went 6-10, but he feels rejuvenated. We need to see what this offense looks like.
He's already 4th in Raiders history in passing touchdowns.
Shut up! Blue lady! What's up?
Marshawn Lynch gets ahead for 3. Beast mode at 32 years old. was limited a little bit in practice this past week with a groin injury. See, at 32 years old, the fourth oldest active NFL running back.
Chucky's going with the no huddle, up-tempo offense.
Jordy Nelson shifts back to the slot on the near side. There's motion up front. A lot of finger pointing right opposite Donald Penn.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
Ron Torbert, our referee tonight. Up front for the Raiders, they're starting the rookie at left tackle. That's Colton Miller, first-round draft pick out of UCLA. And they're expecting a big breakout season from Amari Cooper, their key receiver with.
Yeah, Amari Cooper, he has all the size, athletic ability. They think he can stretch the field. One of the things John wants to do is play action. And they think Cooper can be the guy down the field.
2nd and 2 after the penalty. Here's Lynch probing. And right at that line to make for a first down, tackled by Ramik Wilson.
You know, I think it's important to note early, guys, Gruden came out with a couple of tight ends. They're trying to get in big personnel. They're not going to allow the Ram defense to get in pass rush mode. They're going to pound them to see if they can hold up against the run early.
2 tight ends here as Lynch splits out wide to the top of your screen.
This is what Derek Carr does so well. The audibles at the line of scrimmage. He thinks he can get them in the right looks.
Carr. Quick slant, high throw, but caught by Jared Cook. Chunk play, Raiders, the big tight end. 45-yard reception.
Here he is right here. He's matched up on every cam, the linebacker, and then he blitzes. So he just runs a quick slant. That's one of the things we're going to see is Wade Phillips is going to blitz. It's just a quick slant. That's a matchup they like with Jared Cook.
Derek Carr trying to calm down the black hole. They are roaring, and that's the direction that the Raiders offense is going in right now. This is the offense they've wanted to see. They come with jet motion with Cooper, who's able to turn the corner and find a burst. Finally run out by Talib, 8 yards for the Raiders.
And this is what I wanted to see from the John Gruden offense. This wasn't around 10 years ago. The fly sweeps, reverses, the quick game, going to the empties. We were all wondering what he was doing in the lab the last 9 years, and we're seeing an aggressive, up-tempo offense. Now can they capitalize in the red zone?
High formation with big Keith Smith in front of Marshawn Lynch.
He's changing the play, getting it to the right side with the run game.
Timeout used by Oakland. Now, you mentioned Derek Carr and changing things up at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, what they spent all offseason going into, as John says, I'm not always going to be in the right look. So I got to be able to trust you that you can get us in the look. And it's not just run to the opposite side run or run to pass. They can do pass to pass. So he gives him the flexibility of a number of plays, 5, 6 different looks. And he has full confidence that Derek Carr is going to get him to the right look and execute.
Gruden always asks a lot of his quarterback, but he's got a guy in Carr who likes that. He's a cerebral guy. Digs into that playbook deep. Loves the mental aspect of the game.
He can't get enough of it. He loves it. He goes in there every morning. What do you got for me, coach? Give me something else.
They try to beat each other to the office. Who can show up earlier? Lynch the lone back. 2 tights to the near side with Cook and Carrier. And they will run. And here is Lynch. But he's met and then goes ahead with Peters for a couple of yards. A gain of 4 by Marshawn Lynch.
You know, guys, one of the places that the Raiders feel like they have an advantage is the inside 3. You talk about Jackson, Hudson, Osemele. It's clear to me early on, John Gruden is going to take his inside 3. He's got $70 million guaranteed inside, and he's going to see, can this Rams front 7 handle the pounding? So far, it's good for the Raiders.
Chucky Dolls out in force. They're going to erupt if they bring it right in front of them and cross that goal line. There's motion on the left side on 1st and goal.
False start. Offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
Rams defense, of course. Donald just cashed in with the big contract. The question mark are the linebackers. They're expecting Corey Littleton to step up, and then Talib and Peters, the big pieces that were added to a good group of defensive backs. Backed up to the 12 now for 1st and goal. Carr out of the backfield is Lynch, and run down right away by Corey Littleton.
Marshawn, he does such a good job out of the backfield. You know, people are saying, is he still beast mode? Does he have beast mode? We saw a lot of 8-man boxes where they're bringing the safety down. He's still having a lot of success running the football. Now they have to capitalize on a 2nd down. Maybe they try to pass it and get a little bit closer and sneak one in the end zone.
71-year-old defensive coordinator Wade Phillips for the Rams up against the play-calling head coach John Gruden. Takes such pride in that. Lynch testing the middle and getting a push right through. Effort play. Raiders score it.
You're going to see him here. All-out effort. Beast mode's just digging. You question if I had any Skittles left in his pocket. Takes the whole group. You see Gabe Jackson pushing him. Rodney Hudson pushing him. And that's what this offense. Derek Carr saw that it was a 6-man box. He checks it to a draw because he's got 6 blockers. Great execution. That's the drive the Black Hole was looking for. Look at Chucky there.
I mean, that's just physicality. With Gruden, at his core, wants to run the football and be physical. That drive was indicative of the old John Gruden. Everyone talks about the West Coast offense. At his core, he wants to line up and pound you with a big back.
As Mike Nugent tacks it on. Marshawn Lynch had a whole lot of help from his friends. Like 635 pounds of Jackson and Hudson pushing away. John Gruden's Raiders offense never even faced a 3rd down on that 7-play, 75-yard touchdown drive.
You're going to see Derek Carr at the line of scrimmage. He's checking. He sees that it's a blitz on the left side. He's got Jared Cook one-on-one on Littleton, the linebacker. He loves that matchup. Comes back with the fly sweep. It's a little bit new age. Corey Cooper makes a miss, and then the draw. And look at the effort of Marshawn Lynch. Beast mode. His lineman pushing him from behind. He's on the 3-yard line there, and they carry him in. Gruden talked about changing the culture and the mentality of the Raider Nation. We saw it there on that touchdown run.
Jackson and Hudson in the middle, coming in and bulldozing their starting running back into the end zone. There's Pharaoh Cooper on the return. "26-yard return by Cooper. And here comes Jared Goff. First overall pick in 2016. Head coach Sean McVay says he is really becoming an extension of the coaching staff, and that is that next level of development.
Yeah, Goff, he turned it around. He had the struggles in year 1 as a rookie going 0-7. McVay brings him in, changes the culture, and he has so much success by simplifying those reads for him. Now in year 3, can he take the next step? Great challenge on the road.
Good luck hearing anything for Goff right now. They go with a jet motion handoff to Brandon Cooks. And Cooks is on just beyond the 30. Well, this offense has talent everywhere you look, especially with number 30, Todd Gurley at running back. Your expectations?
Well, he's a dual threat secretary. I mean, he runs it between the tackles like an Ezekiel Elliott, but he's just as good out of the backfield. Compare him to Le'Veon Bell, catching balls out of the backfield. But what makes this offense so good is Sean McVay. The runs look like pass, and the pass look like runs.
There is Gurley, the offensive player of the year last season in the league. 2nd and 4 after the run by Cooks. They bring the motion again, but this time it's Gurley testing the right side as he is taken down. That was Frosty Rucker on the tackle. 2-yard gain from Gurley. Last year, Gurley led the NFL in scrimmage yards, went for 2,093.
You know, Joe, when you talk about 3-down backs, everyone mentions Le'Veon Bell. I believe he's up there, but in my mind, the best 3-down back in football is Todd Gurley. He led this team in receptions last year. He's a do-it-all back. He's going to try to do it all for the Rams tonight.
3rd down and 2. Goff. Incomplete as he was looking for Cooks. Rashaan Melvin had coverage.
That's just really good coverage out there. Melvin against Cooks. Melvin is physically bigger than Cooks. Cooks is going to have to work to get off that jam. That is just really, really good defense. This black hole is fired up tonight. The Raiders came to play. The Rams are going to have to match their intensity, and right now they're not doing it.
Big 6'5", 241-pound Johnny Hecker boots this away, and he backs Harris all the way inside the 10, and Harris somehow gets past the initial surge. What a punt by Hecker. 62-yard punt, 9-yard return. Gruden's offense with Derek Carr back out there when we return. They always invite the great Raiders to come back and light the Al Davis Memorial Torch. And it was an all-time great with Howie Long tonight. Pro Football Hall of Famer. And then you sign your name on that pillar. 7-0. Raiders lead. As Doug Martin is in the I formation, and tripped up was Carr. Just coming back from center. You know, it's great to see Howie Long there with the torch. That's a big part of what John Gruden is trying to do here, is remind these guys about the legacy of this place. They played Jeopardy when he first got here. So he was stunned that these players, this generation, they didn't know who Jack Tatum was. They didn't know who Arshell was.
Yeah, and I saw Howie Long on the sideline. I'm not sure they knew who he was. It looks like he can still play. I love that John's trying to bring that tradition and history back into the Raider community.
And he said he put out a pamphlet, made the team learn the great history, try to hold up the legacy and the standard that this place has its foundation built on. Now, flag comes in.
False start. Offense, number 87. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
They're going in the wrong direction now on this drive. By the way, Torbett heading up this crew. We have 3 members of this crew who have officiated at least 1 Super Bowl. Beautiful evening here at the Coliseum. Makes for a 2nd and 20 now. Back at the 5-yard line. Carr from his own end zone. As Martin can't get anything. In fact, it's a loss of 1 as Samson Ebukam came up to make the tackle.
You know, that's one of the things when we were talking to Coach Gruden during the week. He said we have to stay ahead of the chains because you don't want these defensive line. We know about Donald, Sue, Brockers. Don't want them teeing off. So we want to get the ball out, being able to run the football. This is what they want to stay away from.
3rd and 21, and your opposite, Sue and Donald.
Just keep it safe play, punt the ball, play defense here.
Said they throw, and met right away was Jordy Nelson as Marcus Peters got to him.
That's
so
what
chance for great field position for the Rams.
That's what Wade's defense does, though. He doesn't blink. I mean, over 40 years coaching ball, I played for him. He doesn't get fazed by his defense. You give up an opening drive for a touchdown, regroup. We're going to adjust, bring some pressure, It's a long game. That's what Wade's done so well everywhere he's been.
It's just a calming presence. When these guys come off to the sideline, he calms them down and lets them know.
Johnny Townsend, the rookie, sends it to Cooper. He's got time to think about it before he crosses field and then gets the edge right near midfield. The NFL's reigning Offensive Player of the Year, Todd Gurley. Every conversation of fantasy football is focused on that guy in recent weeks. He's next. Rams offense will take over at midfield. Of course, features the great Todd Gurley, who led the NFL in scrimmage yards last season. Averaged 87 rush yards, 52.5 receiving yards per game. With the only other player in NFL history to have those averages or better, Marshall Faulk, back in 2000 and 2001.
That's a good name to be mentioned with, Tess. He really is. He can do it all. I mean, he understands the passing game as a route runner, but he also is in protection. He's in every down play. When you watch him, he doesn't come off the field. He's tough to tackle. He's got great awareness as a receiver.
Hey, Boog, you know what else he is? He's rich. He just received a 4-year, $60 million contract extension this summer.
And he should have got more. He's worth every penny, big guy.
Play action. Goff with time. And incomplete as he threw it a little bit short and behind Cooper Kupp, who was streaking down the near side.
Yeah, Coop's got to make that catch. Cooper Kupp, you're going to see him. He's turned it back. Just regroup. He's got to make that catch. He had a remarkable rookie year. Those are the plays. That's the play action I was talking about, Joe. They're going to fake it to Gurley, pull up, and he's going to go all the way across the other side of the field. Kupp's got to make that play.
2nd and 10. Goff over the middle, and this is complete to Kupp this time. 11-yard reception for the second-year receiver. Up front, they have Andrew Whitworth, the 13-year veteran, the 2-time first-team All-Pro. Big number 77 at left tackle. He is mic'd up for us tonight, so we look forward to listening in on that with the Rams offense. Here's Goff, play action on 1st down and complete again, and pushed out of bounds was Robert Woods.
One of the things that they do so well is after they call play action, they come again. They send a tight end back, throw and catch. One of the things about Jared Goff is he throws the ball before the receivers are even out of the cut. That's a really good route by Robert Woods, right on the sideline.
And for the Raiders, guys, no pass rush right now. The Raiders have to get some pressure on Jared Goff. They're max protecting for the Rams, but he's too comfortable back there right now.
Gurley splits out and now comes back in motion after that 21-yard reception. Little tap pass to Gurley, who gets the edge inside the 10 and scores the touchdown. Todd Gurley. As he picked up a nice block from Cooper Kupp. 19-yard touchdown run from Gurley.
This is the game of the fly sweep here. Starting him out wide, though, they have to honor that because he's a receiver. Then he gets a full head of steam, just throws a little pass, and you see Key, the defensive end. He sees him, he just can't get there. Timing these things up, that's what Sean McVay does so well in the lab. We talked about wrinkles, Joe. That's one of them that we're seeing in Sean McVay in 2018.
Now that little tap pass forward from Goff, and then Gurley does the rest. So Jared Goff with the quote-unquote touchdown pass. And Todd Gurley picking up right where he left off. Entertaining opening here in Oakland. 7-7 game. ESPN Monday Night Football is brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott, the official hotel of the NFL. Take it back to September of '85. Rams Seahawks on Monday Night Football. Eric Dickerson went for 150 and 3 touch. That was a Rams win. Remember, he had a 47-day contract holdout entering that '85 season. That after he went for 2,105 in '84. And there is Eric Dickerson, Pro Football Hall of Famer. Just saw Todd Gurley work his way in. 19-yard tap pass from Goff to Gurley. Marshawn Lynch had that touchdown to get the night started. He's from right here in Oakland. Went to Oakland Tech High School, about 8 miles away. Look at this photo of Marshawn Lynch back in high school. That's Steve Urkel. Where the senior superlative was most likely to go pro. Did he ever? Of course, went to Cal, went pro, and has been so wildly entertaining and successful as beast mode. Look, you can't get over that photo.
Hey, something tells me he's going to be upset that we showed that photo on national TV.
Play action. Carr extending the play. And then a flag is down as he went to the near side to Amari Cooper. We will check on the penalty flag. 16-yard reception to Cooper.
Holding. Offense. Number 77. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
And that's the rookie left tackle, Colton Miller. Look, I'm going to offer this up to you. I'm going to give you a little split screen just because you got a chuckle out of it.
Hey, talk about a guy that's changed over the years. The guy on the right looks a lot more friendly than the guy on the left, Tess.
I want the guy on the left in my backfield, especially the way he ran on that opening drive. That 10-yard touchdown run where Jackson and Hudson just got behind Big Marshawn and put him through was something. 1st and 20 after the penalty. To the outside to Carrier. Well, it's interesting, so much made of the offseason acquisition with it, and Ndamukong Suh in the middle of this defensive line, and of course the $135 million contract just signed by Aaron Donald, but we haven't called their names much early on.
Yeah, well, the reason is that ball's coming out so quickly. You see it there, just a little quick hitch route. He is so disruptive, Donald is. He can beat you with power, he can beat you with explosiveness, and he has a motor that's like unlike anything in this league.
2nd and 8, bunch formation with Cook in it on the near side, and once again finger pointing as there appeared to be motion up front. Gruden getting a little frustrated.
Ball start. Offense, number 4. 5-yard penalty. It's 2nd down.
So now that's 4 penalties on the Raiders, all on Gruden's offensive unit.
You know, we talk about Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh being quiet early. I'll go back to when I was in Tampa. We used to go against this Gruden offense when myself and Sapp were in there. What they're going to do is they're going to make sure Rodney Hudson, the center, knows where Aaron Donald is, and they're going to allow the other guard to play one-on-one with Ndamukong Suh. They aren't going to let these two guys wreck shop inside.
Right now, they've mastered that little stem at the last second to get the offensive line to false start.
Exactly.
As often is the case when you stem. Jalen Richard in the backfield now with Carr on 2nd and 13. Pressured and put down. And a flag comes down as Brockers and Donald collapsed on Derek Carr.
Just a tremendous move by Aaron Donald. I mean, tremendous inside move, Tess.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense. Number 99, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Just a tremendous inside move by Aaron Donald. The quickness, the ability to plant on the outside, you know what? And flip him inside. Flip those hips and go down. I don't necessarily agree with that penalty. I know he went low. But just a tremendous move by Aaron Donald.
You know, it's interesting. Yesterday, there were 14 roughing the passer calls in the NFL, the most in any week since 2001.
I'm not sure what he's supposed to do there, Tess. He was falling down. If he goes high, they're going to call contact to the head. If he goes low, they call a personal foul.
That is a point of emphasis.
He just runs so hard.
3 yards for Lynch. Ndamukong Suh pushing him back.
Going back to that sack that you saw on Donald, he's going against Osemele, who's a pretty good player. He's a 2-time All-Pro.
Yeah.
He just gets you leaning. He has such great awareness. All the great pass rushers. And I played against Donald the last 2 years, and we had Zach Martin there in Dallas, and it was a battle. But he says his balance and his speed and then his awareness to know when to disengage, like we just saw. It's rare.
2nd and 7. Carr gets it out quickly again as Jared Cook was looking for a call. He was covered by John Johnson, who's a very promising safety out of Boston College, his 2nd year.
And he sees the matchup. He likes it. He likes Cook. We saw earlier some of his ability. Johnson just gets up and presses him. You don't see that against big tight ends very often. And one of the things he does right there, he gets that right hand in. Great awareness, instincts for safeties to be ball hawks. It's rare. He's done a good job of that at an early age.
You talk to people around the Rams, they say Johnson was an absolute steal of a draft pick in the 3rd round. Started 11 games last year. Was 3rd on the team in tackles. It was Carr's first incompletion, 5 of 6 passing. 3rd and 7 now. As he goes underneath, and Cook will get it ahead past midfield. The Raiders will move the chains. 11 yards on 3rd and 7.
That's one of the things that you're going to see Cook, and one of the reasons why John likes these veteran receivers. Short-term memory, forget about the last play, come back, hit him on the drag. He saw that it was man-to-man once again.
Boy, they're really going tempo here. And a timeout is used by the Rams. Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator for that guy, Sean McVay. We rave so much about McVay at a young age at 32. Phillips over there at 71 years old. Started his coaching career in 1976. That was a decade before Sean McVay was born.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. When Sean McVay brought in Wade Phillips, he wanted that. He said, I want to give him full autonomy. And everybody's talked about last offseason what he was able to do, Sean McVay coming in. But with his offense and the run and the passes and the play actions. But one of the things I am so impressed with is his coaching staff. Have a guy that's been a head coach 3 different places. He knows what it looks like, and he trusts them. And so when we saw them at practice, Sean McVay just really does. He gives him full autonomy. Wade, what do you think? How should I handle training camp, preseason? And it's great for a young football coach, even though that he's had a lot of success, that he can lean on a guy like Wade Phillips.
And smart enough to do so. Phillips' 41st NFL season, but right now he's got this Raiders offense to deal with. Empty look for now with Carr as Jalen Richard has come down to the near side of your screen. Carr is going to put it up and put it out of bounds, and a flag is down back at the 42-yard line. Seen that face before, haven't we?
Holding. Offense number 66. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
You know, guys, we continue to talk about John Gruden and Wade Phillips. Everyone wants to know, does John Gruden still have it? Right now, John Gruden is winning the battle. He is out-scheming Wade Phillips. In the run game, they're double-teaming, coming off running downhill. In the pass game, they're throwing quick passes. Max protect blitzing. You run the crossing routes to allow your tight end to run away from the defenders. Does John Gruden still have it? You betcha. And right now, he's winning the battle against Wade Phillips.
One of the things, Book, is the running game.
Yes.
Being able to stay ahead of the chains and running the football right to the strength of this defense.
Yep.
There's Lynch on 1st and 20. And as he goes ahead for 4 yards. That unique NFL career path for Marshawn Lynch. First, the glory years with Seattle. And then retired after the 2015 season. Sat out 2016. Then returns last year to his hometown Raiders.
And Tess, John Gruden loves him because he brings the one thing that Gruden wants, attitude.
Tight bunch to the top. That includes Seth Roberts, Cooper, and Cook on 2nd and 16. Carr. Here's Lynch as he lowers the shoulders back towards the 50, where he's met by LaMarcus Joyner, 6 yards there.
One of the things John's known for is what he does pre-snap. See, Jared Cook started up top. He motioned back down inside. He's chipping the defensive end. It's just allowing Derek a chance to see it all. And if he wants to check, go ahead and do it, buddy.
3rd down and 10. As Richard comes back to the backfield with Carr. Quickly gets it out to Roberts, who will have the first down for the Raiders. So they managed to get out of the hole after the penalty. 11-yard reception for Roberts.
See the ball out mentality. That's old Aaron Rodgers play. Allow the receivers to get upfield and make blocks. You got 2-on-2. It's like a quick screen.
That's exactly what it is, Whit.
Final seconds of this first quarter. Great energy here at the Black Hole. Chucky's back. Tie game on Monday Night Football. Beautiful night here looking at the Bay Bridge in Oakland, California. Joe Tessitore alongside Jason Witten. Upstairs, Booger McFarland, our field level analyst, and the veteran Lisa Salter. 7-7 to start this second quarter. Sean McVay, the young precocious star, opposite John Gruden. Downfield and complete again to Cook as a flag reins in at the end of it. Carr has been targeting Cook. 28 yards as it stands now.
Before the pass was thrown, illegal contact. Defense, number 21. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
We talk about Derek Carr's big arm. The play action out of the two-back set, and then the matchup. You see Cook just put his foot in the ground at the top. He has so much size on Johnson, and the touch by Derek Carr is what gets him open.
5 inches taller than Johnson both.
You know, one of the places that the Raiders feel like they have an advantage is Cook against anybody on this team. They feel like he's a matchup nightmare, and so far they are exploiting that to the fullest.
First and goal, and a whole lot of beef with Smith and Lynch in the I formation. Remember how they thundered at home last time they were down deep. Offset I now as Smith comes right. And Lynch penetrating the backfield and getting in there that time was Ebukam. And Matt Longacre did a good job as well, a loss of 5.
That's the key to this whole offense. So going back to that big play action pass, that ball out mentality and being able to run it, that's when the play action then opens up. Great call and great feel by John Gruden. See how these guys are rushing, then Max protect it and get the tight end on the safety.
Rams are starting to control the running game just a little bit. This penetrating Wade Phillips defense starting to get in the backfield, fellas.
3 receivers bunched, and then Lynch comes out wide, bottom of your screen on second and goal. Carr sprinting right, and now he's going to tuck and run and just get inside the 10.
You're just going to see a soft zone coverage by Wade there. He saw that it wasn't open, and he was able to extend the play and then run it. Now get himself in the third and manageable inside the 10. We're going to see what he's going to do here.
I mean, Cook's been a matchup nightmare so far. Wouldn't be surprised if they figured out a way to get Cook in a one-on-one situation. If you're the Rams, you got to get after the quarterback. Derek Carr is having too much time in the pocket. Should be a big down here.
11th play of this drive.
Man-to-man coverage. I think he likes it. Oh, he called the timeout.
And a flag comes in as the play clock was running down.
Before the play clock expired, Oakland called its second charge timeout of the half. This is a 30-second timeout.
So they exhaust their second here early in the second quarter. Let's go down to the field to Lisa.
Yeah, Tess, well, for the Raiders, their starting long snapper, Andrew DePaulo, he is out of this game with a knee injury. His replacement will be number 86, Lee Smith. Let's see how that figures in for the rest of this game.
Now, at this level of the game, the operation time on special teams is so critical. There is Lee Smith, who's the backup tight end, big blocking tight end. You can see he's talking things over with Townsend. at ops time, especially week 1 of the NFL, when a lot of these special teams units haven't been put together. So we'll look for that as Smith will be called into action for the Raiders. 3rd down and goal.
He's got the matchup up top there with Cooks. Man to man.
He just changed the play.
Play clock down to 1. They go with Nelson. He had to wait for blockers on the inside screen, and in doing so, it gave time for LaMarcus Joyner to close on him. So keep in mind of what Lisa just reported on. The new snapper now is Lee Smith. Andrew DePaula is out of the game. So Smith has to come in and give it a go. Of course, he's got the veteran Mike Nugent, a 36-year-old. And it's a short 24-yard attempt. And he puts it through. A little slower than what you're used to seeing, but job well done as the Raiders retake the lead. Nugent's field goal has the Raiders up 10-7, and Booger has tonight's PlayStation View multi-view.
And that view is about one guy. That's Aaron Donald. His ability to get off the football and get upfield and penetrate and get in the backfield. This guy is one of the most versatile athletes in the game, but this is what makes him great. His inside move, coming inside on one of the best guards in the game, Khalid Simlin. Then the physical battle with Gabe Jackson going back and forth inside. It's been a great matchup to watch tonight. Donald against these 2 guards inside. Must-see TV.
Of course, he held out this year, but then signed that big extension. It wasn't past 8 days before this game. He's as good as there is in the biz. Aaron Donald. Cooper's going to take this out from 5 yards deep. As that Rams offense will be back out there with Andrew Whitworth, the veteran left tackle, who is wired up with the Monday Night Mike.
Yep, got to score every time we touch it. Hey, John, just be ready that he might have an inside move here. This is Irvin. He called it. Let's go!
There he is, Whitworth, the veteran player. You know, he came here last year to help change the culture, and he probably had his best year making All-Pro. He's a leader. He's helped Goff. Communicator, you see him talk about in his film study. Bruce Irvin may come with the inside move. Sure enough, it's inside move. His center's there to help him. The great offensive line, it's communication across the board.
And Boogie takes care of his body at 36 years old. Must be all that high altitude hiking.
It's got to be. You have to take care of your body when you get old. But the number one thing he does, he makes sure Jared Goff's blind side is always protected, fellas.
Those long arms help a little bit too, fellas.
Yeah, he was born to be that, and then has worked hard to maintain it. Spectacular talent for years now is Whitworth. Goff batted away. Great play on the ball by Gilchrist.
You're seeing the Paul Gunther defense. He really wants these guys to come down and challenge these receivers. We saw it earlier in the game on the Cooks pass when Melvin came and played press man against maybe the fastest receiver in football. Gunther has these guys believing. A lot of veteran players, no-name guys in a lot of cases, and they're challenging these talented Rams receivers.
So is that crowd challenging Jared Goff.
He sees the pressure coming. He's trying to check out it. Little cat and mouse game.
Play clock. Take a shot downfield. And the flag's going to come out as Brandon Cooks was tied up with Rashaan Melvin.
Pass interference. Defense, number 22. The ball will be placed at the spot of a foul. Automatic first down.
The Paul Gunther defense, he prides himself in that double A-gap blitz. And then they come out of it. It was a chess match. Goff checked, then Derek Johnson checked, and it was one-on-one on outside.
And Melvin is in great position here, but it's the one thing I never understand about cornerbacks. Turn around and look for the ball. It's an interception.
And 37 yards later, it's a damaging penalty. Goff somehow gets away and gets it complete for a 10-yard reception to Woods. He had a man right in his face, and it was the rookie Arden Key.
That's some of the things that I'm looking from Goff. We know about his strong arms and the play action passes, but improvising, just like he did there, and finding plays. Good to see from the young quarterback.
Get motion again. This is Kupp picking up a block. And another first down for the Rams. That was Robert Woods who was riding the path ahead.
And Frosty Rucker, the defensive end over here, he has no chance. He's over 290 pounds. Those quick sweeps like that, they're just such good matchups for the offense.
Now look at the pace and tempo now with the Rams. They have found the rhythm here on this drive. A Raiders defense, a mix of veterans, and of course minus Khalil Mack, who showed exactly what he's all about last night in that Chicago-Green Bay game. As this time the front does their job, limiting Gurley to just 2 yards.
And it's one of the things we're seeing from both teams, guys. Tempo, tempo, tempo. Making defensive guys that haven't played a lot of snaps in the preseason play over and over and over at the line of scrimmage. Both coaches are cut from the same cloth, and they're both using up-tempo tonight against these defenses.
It's interesting to see that the Rams wide receivers, Kupp and Cooks, have 18 yards rushing between them. Gurley has 4.
Never would have thought about that.
2nd and 8, going right into the roar of that black hole. B-gap pressure, they pick it up. Throws to that side, nearly picked off that time as Gilchrist was trying to make a play on the ball.
And that's what Paul Gunther's going to do. You see Leon Hall, the veteran, but the veteran cornerback, he's going to blitz in there. He played with him in Cincinnati, and then it forces the tackle there, Heimenstein, to come down, and the defensive ends unblocked. So Goff has to get the ball out. He just misses with the throw.
A cascade of sound on 3rd and 8. Pressure, ball's out. A fight for the ball. It was Bruce Irvin who karate chopped down on it.
I mean, just effort, just relentless effort. Jared Goff holds the ball too long, but just relentless effort from Bruce Irvin coming around the edge.
As the Rams fall on it, and Greg Zuerlein will come out. It was Rob Havenstein, the right tackle, who ended up on the ball at the bottom of this pile. Rutan loving the play and the motor from Irvin.
And Joe Havenstein did a good job. Goff just can't hold the football that long. Irvin came all the way around the bend.
Step up inside the pocket.
Yes, step up.
46-yard attempt off the dirt for Zuerlein. And it is no good. Not fun to kick off the infield dirt. Misses it right. Zuerlein just missed a 46-yarder off the dirt. This was a concern of the special teams coordinator, Bones Fossil, so much so that that's where they held special teams practice last Tuesday. Cal Lutheran's softball infield. The concern showed up. He missed off the dirt. Here's Martin trying to go right into the teeth of that Rams defense. Watch this coming off the dirt as that plant foot comes down. And prior to that, how solid was Zuerlein? Now, since 2016, he was 49 of 51 inside of 50 before that kick. Bones Fossil knows all about playing on the infield dirt here. He was a special teams coordinator for the Raiders at one point in his career. And this, of course, the last remaining of the combo baseball football stadiums in the NFL. They'll be heading to Vegas come 2020. Here's Carr on 2nd and 6. Wide open that time was Jordy Nelson, the longtime Packers star.
Have we seen that before? Jordy Nelson finding the soft spot in the zone. He just has such a great awareness to find the soft spot in the zone. He sees it. He gets right out behind Peters because the receiver's in the flat, and he finds a soft spot. And don't forget Carr's accuracy in this area of the field.
Derek Carr said, "I cannot believe that Green Bay released him. He is still as fast as ever." He has fit in perfectly here so far in Oakland this summer. Looks to his tight end again, and Cook drags Johnson ahead for 2 more yards.
But this is what we're seeing tonight. John Gruden's heard about this pass rush all off season. The ball out mentality. You're going to see him there on the quick slant, 2.2 seconds. He's going to come back, throw a little hitch route outside. And then he throws a quick screen out wide on a 3rd down. Throws it for a 1-yard pass in the air, and they get 9-10 yards. That's what they want to do, and then the chunks will come in behind it. But again, it all goes with the running the football for Oakland.
You see the next-gen stats. 2.2 seconds is the average time to throw tonight, as Doug Martin goes ahead for a 1st down. Now, Doug Martin, after 2 Pro Bowls over 6 years with Tampa, was waived this past February. And now here backing up Marshawn Lynch. And it's kind of like Gruden's recreating the early Raiders scene he had at running back. You got Lynch, Martin, and the big fullback. Remember, we used to have Tyrone Wheatley, Charlie Garner, and a thunder and lightning approach. John Ritchie, version 2.0 perhaps with Keith Smith.
Yeah, he's a good running back. He's had 2 seasons over 1,400 yards in his career. Nice change of pace for Lynch.
Carr. Here's Martin. He slips down, and that'll be a loss of 2 yards as Lawler was quick to get out there.
It'll be interesting to see if Wade adjusts his defense. I mean, Cook is really a tough matchup for Johnson. And he's doing it from a number of different places. Play action at the tight end, then he's doing it outside, too.
I don't think Wade's going to adjust, but Wade has always done it.
Here's a good seam that time by Martin, and on 2nd and 12, he picks up that 1st down with 13-yard run.
Interior, that offensive line is starting to win, boys. That interior 3, Jackson, Hudson, Osemele. They have the Rams on their heels right now.
Offensive lineman's best friend is the running game book.
And it's showing up here. Once again, Martin probing, and this time Littleton closes in on him.
Yeah, as you're sitting here looking at this, guys, the Rams defensive line, they want to get upfield. They want to penetrate. They want to get in the backfield. John Gruden is using that against them. You have this big physical offensive line of the Raiders. They're starting to come downhill. As a pass rusher, I don't want any part of the run game. I want to go get the passer. I don't want to play double teams. He's making Donald and Sue and Brockers play a lot of double teams tonight.
Look, I like that perch you got there. You're seeing what's happening in the interior of that line.
You got the matchup up top again with Cook.
2nd and 10, looking for it all. Intercepted by John Johnson. What a play.
They went to the well one too many times often. How many times have we seen Cook outside one-on-one against John Johnson? Johnson says, no, I've seen this before. Carr underthrows it, and he goes up and gets it. Tremendous play by Johnson.
Big time by Johnson on Monday Night Football. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by GMC. Live like a pro. Well, that is the construction that has already started at their future home on the Vegas Strip. The Raiders. And look at the billboard. It's head coach John Gruden that they're advertising for that stadium to be ready in the 2020 season. Mark Davis very proud of that accomplishment. The son of the legendary NFL Maverick Al Davis, the owner of the Raiders, Mark Davis.
Is that the best bowl cutting ball?
And is that the best coach he could ever want? Because for years he was hoping that Gruden would say, no more Monday Night Football, Booth. Get back to the Raiders. And a 10-year reported $100 million contract got Chucky back. So the interception by Johnson. And now the Rams trying to get back to business in this ultra loud setting tonight. Here's Gurley. And Todd Gurley with a great run for 11 yards.
He hits that hole and just trusts his lineman to get displacement. I mean, Whitworth just dominated him on the outside there.
Downfield, wants it all, Cooks. And the flag comes out for the second time with Cooks deep downfield, and it'll be a PI. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie with a head shake.
I'd have a head shake too, Joe. I don't know about that
Pass
one.
interference. Defense, number 45. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
But Whit, here's the thing. You say you don't know about it, but think about this. If they would just turn around and look back. You see Cooks looking back. No one else is looking back, and there the hand comes in. You have to turn around. If you can't turn around, you're giving the official the freedom to say, you know what? You don't know where the ball is. I can call that play.
Look, it's the fastest guy in the NFL. One of them. You can't turn around.
Jet motion again. Rams have had success with that. Robert Woods for 6. Now this is the new fast, shiny toy for the Rams. Brandon Cooks. Traded 2 times in the last 2 seasons. New Orleans traded him to the Patriots. Spent that year there. And then New England sends him over to the Rams for a 4th-round pick. With a 4th-round pick for a 1st and 6th. And he has already delivered. Had the 2 big pass interferences. 50 yards coming that time.
And, Joe, you talk about Brandon Cooks. The reason they like him a little bit more than Sammy Watkins, he's more versatile. He can run not only the deep routes, the intermediate routes, the jet sweeps. They felt like Sammy Watkins was a little bit one-dimensional.
To be an undersized guy, he's strong. We talk about his speed all the time, but he can catch those routes. You see him in New England, what he did in New Orleans, and 3,000-yard receiving. It's not yards. That's not just vertical all the time.
Yeah, physical too, Whit.
So a timeout here. Of course, one of the big stories in the NFL heading into week 1 was the Khalil Mack trade. 5th-year option of his rookie deal, didn't report to camp. And then the decision by John Gruden and those here at the Raiders to say, hey, we don't think he's ever coming in. So they trade him, get the 2 first-rounders, played for the Bears last night, and was just tremendous.
Yeah, he played well. I was as surprised as everyone else that you let this guy go. But you know what? I think when John got in here, he just said this is going to be a complete rebuild. And Mac reached out to him, didn't get to have a lot of communication with him. And knowing that it's a teardown, I think he thought, I got to move forward. And I got to send a message to my football team. I got the commitment from Davis that it's going to take time. And you know what, though? The guy is so dynamic. We saw it last night.
1st and goal. Gurley. Can he bounce it? Picked up a block from Woods and then met up with Rodgers-Cromartie. Boog, what was your takeaway from the Mack trade?
Here's the one thing I know. You don't make a living in this league trading away Hall of Fame players. John Gruden can talk about money and not having any left, but Khalil Mack was 1st-team All-Pro at 2 spots. I'm going to make every effort I can to keep this guy on my team. I thought this was one of the worst trades, and it'll go down as one of the worst trades in NFL history.
2nd and goal. Oh, it falls to the ground as Rodgers-Cromartie and company had a chance at the INT.
You're going to see, he sees it zone there. He just tries to fit it in. Cromartie, I played against him a long time. He was in Giants. He's just got a knack for the football. Good play by him to get his hand in there.
3rd and goal, and listen to the black hole. Goff with time to the end zone. Incomplete. Woods was coming into the corner. Higbee was streaking down, and Garyon Conley was there.
And it was a great call by Paul Gunther. I'm going to play zone defense. I'm going to drop back. I'm going to force you to find a tight spot. And once again, the Raiders have no pass rush whatsoever. Goff is patting the ball and patting the ball. They're going to have to figure out a way to get some pressure. Think they couldn't have used Khalil Mack on that play?
23-yard attempt for Zerline. And nothing but nice grass underneath that hole this time. As we have a flag.
"12 players on defense. That penalty is half the distance to the goal. It's still 4th down."
Looks like Sean McVay was considering going for it there, and then he sends the field goal unit back on the field.
That moment of pause with an offensive-minded coach.
Without getting pressure, putting up front for Oakland Raiders, put a lot of time on these guys to cover them on the back end. You saw Garyon Conley, the young player, high expectations coming out of Ohio State. He did a good job covering there.
A 20-yard field goal will tie up this game. Well, you guys talked about how John Gruden is going about reworking this franchise. And he's made a lot of transactions. We had a lot of Raiders walking the plank. In fact, 29 of the 53 players are new this season. And the average age of the Raiders team, 28.1. Folks, that's the oldest opening day roster in the NFL since 2010. 15 of those players are 30 years old, most in the NFL. What do you make of that strategy, Whit?
Well, I think anytime you're going into a rebuild, some of these coaches in the past, and I saw it with Bill Parcells when he came to Dallas, they like some of these veterans as they start that rebuilding process because they know what they can get out of them. They have high expectations. They can teach. They can set the culture. They can show them how to work. And that's what John's doing here with some of the veteran guys he's adding.
Of course, Derek Carr is already off to a good start in developing their relationship.
Yeah, John likes veteran players. Having played for him in Tampa, guys, the young guys just don't bond well with him. He wants a veteran guy that he can count on, that's going to be professional, that's going to show up to work and do his job, which is why he's got the oldest team in football here. Hope they can hold up throughout a 16-game season.
And then as you have these first-round draft picks, you'll be able to weed some of those guys out as they continue to age. So that's why you bring them in on year one.
Now 40 seconds away from the 2-minute warning. Derek Carr, 13 of 15 for 143 yards. Did have the interception that was thrown when they were knocking on the door moments ago. That Carr had one interception on a throw to the end zone in 83 attempts over the last 2 years. And then on his first end zone throw of this season, picked off by John Johnson. Carr quickly gets it out to Richard. As he scoots out right past the 31-yard line. 7 yards there.
Derek Carr has played well tonight, Joe. The ball has come out of his hands quick. John Gruden is putting him in premium situations, and so far he's delivered.
Richard will move the chains. See if they get one in here before the 2-minute warning. That loaded Rams roster against Gruden and this offense. 10-10 on Monday Night Football. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by Goodyear. Joe Tessitore, Jason Witten, Booger McFarland, Lisa Salters with you for the Rams and Raiders on Monday Night Football to close out this week 1 of the NFL season. Hard to pass on first down. Shallow under. And going ahead for, looks right to be about 10 yards, was Amari Cooper. Maybe just short, depending on this mark. One timeout remains for the Raiders.
Hey, Tess, it's been real interesting to watch John Gruden down here. He is upset with the refs. He wants to pick the tempo up. They are not spotting the ball quick enough for his liking.
Second and a very short one. Nice effort that time by Richard. 5-yard reception reaching out.
What a throw by Derek Carr, just allowing him to get open, put a nice little touch on it, and then get out of bounds to stop the clock. This is what I want to see, where John Gruden gets in here, the relationship between him and Derek Carr, handling the 2-minute.
Carr has hit on 8 different receivers.
We're not seeing much blitz out of Wade, which is a little bit surprising. See if that changes.
First down from midfield. Tried to check down to Richard. Goes incomplete. Minute 27 remaining. You know, Gruden, you mentioned worried about the tempo and dealing with the officials. Been dealing with the officials a lot here. They have 125 penalty yards so far. It's already their most in the first half since 2001.
And I think if you're John Gruden, you feel really good. Talking to the Raiders, they wanted to win this game being a street fight. They wanted it to be a brawl. So far, that's what it's been. Raiders are winning the time of possession, and they're being physical at the line of scrimmage.
Carr was floating, and saw Ndamukong Suh in his face. And there's the flag.
Holding. Offense. Number 70. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
It's Kelechi Osemele, Pro Bowl starter in each of the last 2 seasons. Now, ball control, one of the storylines of this first half.
Yeah, and one of the things you're seeing in that 4-man rush, Wade's not feeling like he has to blitz, because guess who that holding penalty, Osemele, guess who was blocking there?
Yeah.
Aaron Donald.
Yeah, best defensive lineman in the league.
Coach Phillips got a lot of confidence. 4-man rush can get home, and then he can drop 7 into coverage. That's why we're seeing the running backs be so involved in this passing game.
And with that penalty, a 2nd and 20. And underneath and keeping it safe, Jared Cook, as the Rams kept him in front. 8 yards there. Johnson with the tackle.
It's 3rd and long here. It'll be interesting to see how aggressive does John Gruden get. Phillips is going to be in a soft zone. Does he get aggressive?
Here's Carr on 3rd and 13. Settles underneath again, keeping in front. Breaks the initial tackle and bowls his way ahead. Does Jared Cook. He just ran over Akeem Talib.
That's just great individual effort. Wade Phillips in a soft zone. You rally up, you make the tackle, and now they have to punt. But instead, Jared Cook catches it, not tackling, hurt the Rams in the first half so far.
So now clock counting down to 35 seconds. Under again, Richard, as he goes ahead for 8.5 yards, tackled by Littleton. Remember, 1 timeout remains. How about Cook at the end of this, Whit?
Yeah, just he's having a night. Just physical, lowering the helmet. Talib, the veteran player, talks a little trash. Cook just goes right over him.
Got to be careful talking it when you're giving up 50 pounds. Coming up, commercial-free Genesis halftime show. Susie Colbert, Louis Riddick, and Steve Young. We'll hear what Lou and Steve have to say about Gruden's return to the sidelines. SVP on Sam Darnold's debut. That Jets defense was something tonight. And a special performance by Torrey Kelly and Boys to Men. Boys to Men, a beautiful anthem to get this NFL season started this past Thursday in Philadelphia. That is the commercial-free Genesis halftime show with Susie and the guys.
These are the things that I'm interested in seeing with John Gruden, being away from it for 9 years. I know he works extremely hard on talking on game management. No timeouts, ball in the 30. So if they throw it in bounds, they got to get on the ball, clock it, or get another play up. See if he tries to work the sidelines.
Remember, they took over at their own 25 with 2:40 left. This is the 9th play of the drive, and Cook gave them a chance moments ago. 2nd and 1, Carr. And he is just going to throw this away beyond Cooper as Dominique Easley was coming after him. 23 ticks of the clock remain.
You know, with 23 seconds left and no timeouts, the entire field is still open. You don't have to throw it to the sideline. There's still enough time on the clock where you can throw it over the middle of the field, get the first down, and then come up and spike it. So your entire field is still open with 23 seconds left.
Richard. And flag comes in.
And that's the one thing you cannot have in this area of the field is a penalty.
Holding. Offense number 70. 10-yard penalty. Repeat left down.
Time and again in this first half.
Just trying to run a quick dive inside. He tackles him. Literally tackles him. Simile does. And now you're just trying to get back into field goal range, really, at this situation.
Boog, that's 10 penalties and 7 on the Raiders offensive unit.
Yeah, and it's 2 on Colecchio Simile, and he's going against Michael Brockers. Brockers is the guy you don't hear about. We talk about Sue and Donald. Quiet as it's kept, one of the better guys in this league is Michael Brockers.
So push back to the 40, 3rd and 11. Remember, no timeouts, 19 seconds. Carr gets it out quickly. What a catch, and then out of bounds by Richard. He threw it to the inside, a little bit dangerous, and Richard made up for it.
And Peters saw at the corner there. He was going after it. He came off. He was trying to come off and get that interception.
And 5 yards helps them with field goal range here, as the veteran Mike Nugent will trot out there to that infield dirt that we talked about. And remember, Lee Smith, the backup tight end, is in as the short snapper. 53-yard attempt. Nearly blocked and then off to the side, but a flag is down. That was Sam Shields coming in.
Sam time to try to time it up. Shields did. Just too early there.
Folks, when you hear the phrase operation time when it comes to a place kick, you got a backup tight end as your snapper. That was 1.37. You don't hear that in the NFL.
Offside. Defense number 37. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
But they get saved with the flag. Watch the top of your screen here.
You're going to just see Shields. He jumps. He tries to time it up. He's watching the holder. Backup snapper. He doesn't do it a lot. You know, Smith, the snapper here, is playing tight end. They always try to throw tight ends in there and be like the emergency snapper. Sounds good in practice. When you get into live action, different story, boys.
So now it becomes a 48-yard attempt. Let's see if they're aggressive again. And with the second chance, he puts it through. And Gruden's got himself a field goal lead. (13 to 10) Raiders. Hey, next Monday we're going to be in Chicago. It's Russell Wilson and the Seahawks taking on Khalil Mack and the Bears. 8:15 Eastern, and coverage, of course, begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6 Eastern. How about Khalil Mack last night? The sack, the pick-6 interception, the forced fumble, the fumble recovery. His new team, but the same old dominating presence.
It was incredible to watch. I mean, think about going to a new team. He's been holding out entire all season, and to have a dominant performance like that against a good offensive line in Green Bay.
You want to talk about a dominating performance and an all-time performance? Aaron Rodgers, coming back out onto the field, Boog, off the injury and pulling off that comeback.
Well, that's why I think Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady are the top 2 players in the league, with Aaron Donald being number 3. But you talk about Khalil Mack, a guy that went up there. He had something to prove, showing everyone, hey, you didn't want me in Oakland? Somebody else wants what I can do, which is be an all-pro at the defensive end position.
Raiders got the night started with Marshawn Lynch. Just bookended this first half with Mike Nugent, a 48-yard field goal. That guy has played a big role. Jared Cook had that great catch and then running over to lead. Cook has 6 receptions for 113 yards in this first half.
Yeah, and I mean, he's been doing it a long time, and he had made a lot of these plays for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. I mean, one in the playoffs. Still think about that one. But, I mean, to see that matchup and Derek Carr continue to go after him, he trusted.
Yeah, this has been a great half for the Raiders, guys. Game plan going to perfection. Run the ball, control the clock, and go with their matchup nightmare, which is Jared Cook against anybody from the Rams.
Rams get the ball to start the second half. 13-10 Raiders, as we will join Susie Colbert in a moment for the commercial-free Genesis halftime show starting now. Yeah, and we got a lot of rowdy friends on the other side of that bridge at the Black Hole, where that oldest team in the NFL, they're looking young and with fresh legs, in a 13-10 lead here. The Raiders on top of the Rams at the half of this double dip of Monday Night Football. Glad you're with us, Joe TESSITORE, alongside Jason Witten. We'll hear from Booger in just a second. Let's talk about how Gruden likes to get those matchups that he prefers.
Yeah, he likes to find the matchups, and that matchup tonight has been Jared Cook. He's been all over the field. You're going to see him here. He sees it's a blitz. He's got a middle linebacker, Corey Littleton. Nice little stick. And then this one now. It's a 3rd and 7. And you see Johnson playing by 8 yards off. He hits him on the drag for a 4-yard gain. Turns up, big first down. And then in the red zone, this is, look, Derek Carr has been pretty flawless tonight, Joe. He'd like to have this throw back. Play to Cook's advantage. A nice little stick, got vertical. Maybe could have kept a little bit more real estate on the outside, but man, Cook's been a big-time matchup.
But you like their physicality as well.
I love what the Raiders are doing, especially on the offensive side of the football. Talking to them before this game, they wanted to make this game a street fight. They did not want basketball on grass, and they've done that. They're running the football, being physical, dominating at the line of scrimmage, and for them, that's what they need to do. And John Gruden is controlling the football game. Beast mode, up inside, getting the black hole alive. The physicality that they're bringing is the key to this game plan. They can stay out of 3rd and long. They don't allow the Rams to get into their pass rush situations and doing what they want to do. Masterful game plan. We wanted to know, does John Gruden still have it? Boy, as he showed us in the first half, he can still call a football game.
Whitty mentions that offensive line. The Raiders, 24 pass attempts, not a sack allowed.
Yeah, that's incredible. But, guys, the other point is, after they've been that dominant, they're still only up 3. With the best offense in 2017 about to come out.
Here's Pharaoh Cooper. And good return out towards the 30. Let's go to our award-winning veteran reporter, Lisa Salters.
Hey there, Tess. Well, Sean McVay told me that his team needs to find a way to get off the field on defense. He said we had just 21 plays of offense. We were moving the ball, but not finishing in the red zone. He said we got to come out the opening possession, this opening possession of the second half, and get it done. As for John Gruden, I asked him how he thought his first regular season half went. He said defensively, we've got to stop their jet sweep. On offense, he said penalties killing us. Tess?
You mentioned McVay in that offense. The Rams only 20 total plays and 8.5 minutes of time of possession. But they've got big number 30 in the backfield, and they can lean on him. Here is Gurley. And there goes Gurley! Great way to start the second half for the Rams.
You're going to see Gilchrist is going to come down the safety to make an 8-man box. He's unblocked. But Gurley just hits this zone scheme so quick, and the patience. And then he pushes up inside. And now when the safety comes there, you're going to see it's really hard down the field. Gurley allows the offensive lineman to set these blocks up, you know, and allow him to climb to the second level. He's so powerful and patient.
Give credit to 66 Austin Blythe, who's in for Jamon Brown at right guard. Nice block there. Here's Curley again, speaking of patience, as he was wrapped up that time by Leon Hall.
Great tackle there by Leon Hall, veteran guy. He's been with Paul Gunther a long time. He was with him in Cincinnati. Now he's here, shedding off of the block, a cup there, making an open field one-on-one tackle there on Todd Gurley. Leon Hall, veteran player. Some say longer than 2. He still got it.
This will be an interesting call for Sean McVay here, because you know Gunther's going to bring some pressure on 3rd down. 2nd down, midfield. See what he tries to do.
2nd and 8, play action off the jet motion and complete to Cooks.
There it is, Joe. That's what he does. Just that they've had so much success with the fly sweep. We heard Lisa talk about John said we got to stop it. He just dresses it up a lot of different ways and then gets the isolation on the outside. Just a skinny post with a lot of grass. Good route by Cooks.
And your point of showing that jet motion, giving it, having some success, and then play action off of it.
It just puts the linebackers in a bind. They heard it at halftime. Hey, we got to play the fly sweep. Well, now they can't get in the drop to that hook curl, and it's an easy throw and catch.
Look at the next-gen stats of tight window throws by Goff. 30% tonight. 23-yard completion there. Here's Gurley as he fights ahead for about 3. Well, Jared Goff, you know, he's a local guy. He's from Marin County, about 38 miles away from the Coliseum here. Second and 6. Pitch to Gurley. And met with the pursuit down the line. It was Johnson and Whitehead coming in on Gurley.
You're going to see on this play, they're going to run the toss sweep. Watch Kupp. He's going to block that defensive end. And he's going to make a big play on it just to get down on him, seal the edge on Arden Key a little bit. And not only is he a possession receiver, a slot player, but this guy, he's blocking defensive ends on toss sweeps.
3rd and 3. The entire playbook is open right now for the Rams.
3rd and 3.
Got Kupp.
Goff has got it for a first down. Again, it is Cooper Kupp.
Crossing routes. You're going to see it. He just has good patience. See how he controls himself, finding the soft spot in the zone. Big conversion for Kupp.
You know, they talked about his knowledge, with his ability to be a young player, but understand concepts, understand routes, to know when it's zone coverage, settle down. If it were man-to-man, you keep going. Very good knowledge by a young football player in Cooper Kupp.
As Gurley lowers that shoulder inside the 10. This has had a little bit of everything on this opening drive of the second half for the Rams. A matchup of the young hotshot play caller and head coach Sean McVay opposite Oakland's defensive coordinator Paul Gunther, who spent 13 years with the Bengals before coming over to work for John Gruden. Second and 7 as Goff walks to the skill position guys to give them the check. It is so loud here at the Coliseum tonight. Gurley cannot stiff arm his way free of Tahir Whitehead, a loss of 1.
You're just going to see Arden Key get off the ball on the edge here. He does such a good job of seeing it, and he forces that back inside, and then Whitehead chases it down. That's one of the reasons why they brought Tahir Whitehead here, is his sideline player. Good tackle in space, and a really good running back.
3rd down and 8. Batted away as he was looking to the end zone to Cooper Kupp, and Leon Hall got in the way of it.
He's going to see it. Oakland Raiders just playing a little soft zone. Good patience. Goff was just a tad bit late and tried to squeeze it in there. But Derek Johnson inside, he just couldn't do it. Leon Hall almost had the interception. Probably should have caught that one. But a nice breakup.
Yeah, Jared's got to anticipate a little bit better. Throw it before the receiver breaks.
And Zerline ties us up. They marched all the way down. And we got 13s across on Monday Night Football.
Welcome back to Oakland, where once again football is the tie that binds the Gruden and McVay families together, just like it has for the last 50 years. 1969 in Dayton, Ohio, that's when these two families met. Sean McVay's grandfather John was the head coach at the University of Dayton. John Gruden's father Jim was his young assistant. A few years later, those two embarked on separate journeys. Jim left to be an assistant at Indiana, where he recruited Sean McVay's dad Tim to play quarterback for the Hoosiers. John McVay and Jim Gruden later joined forces again in the 80s to help build an NFL dynasty. John McVay was the 49ers GM, Jim Gruden, a 49ers scout who was based in Tampa, which is where the families became even more intertwined. In 2008, John Gruden's final year as head coach of the Buccaneers, he hired a 22-year-old kid to be his coaching assistant. An entry-level job, a glorified gopher, really. That kid, Sean McVay. Now, 20 years later, here we go again. The Grudens, the McVays, two families, and football.
Lisa, you get me laughing thinking about hanging out with McVay last night when we turned him and said, do you remember the first task that he gave you? He said, yeah, I had to go pick up the dry cleaning. Then he got mad that I was chewing gum. He could hear me chewing gum, so I had to throw the gum out.
Nobody gave him the pet peeve that he didn't like the gum chewing. So he said he just went and tossed it underneath the trash can.
He goes from picking up his dry cleaning and being a glorified gopher to now the coach of the year opposite John Gruden. And he was able to have his father and grandfather here pregame. Sean's father, Tim. His grandfather, John McVay, who was the 49ers vice president, helped build those 5 Super Bowl championship teams. The McVays and the Grudens interwoven with football success. It's 3 yards per Lynch that time.
You know, if you're the Rams, guys, in the first half, the Raiders controlled the clock. Physicality. If you're the Rams, where's Aaron Donald at? Where's Brockers? Where's Sue? It's time for these 3 first-round picks to start to make some plays, especially if Wade Phillips is going to play this soft zone coverage behind him.
That ball-out mentality, though, it's hard for those guys to get home right now, Bud.
It's the right approach. 2nd and 7. They motion Cooper. Lynch gets work on the right side and gets free and muscles his way with a little help from Jared Cook for a first down. 8-yard run from Marshawn Lynch.
Watch this guy running the football. Question of his beast mode there. The wide zone just powerful. How many times you've seen him do this over the course of his career? And then he gets the push in the back. The mentality runs. He says he likes the gap scheme. He likes the zone scheme. Good patience. And he's got a big-time burst tonight.
First down gives him a chance for an empty look for Carr. See if he stays that way. As Lynch is to the top of your screen now. Gets it out quick again, but he goes low that time for the intended target, Amari Cooper.
You see Derek Carr is telling him just hook up because it's zone coverage there. Talib's coming off that. He didn't want to blow him up. He said, just give me a little soft zone there and I can just bang it on you.
Break that down for the layman, that vernacular, the lexicon of hook up. When you say that, a receiver should hooked up there.
Yeah, well, Cooper's got to understand that there's a zone coverage. So if he can just find that soft spot, and usually he's outside, so he's not familiar running those little hook routes inside. But Carr's trying to throw him open, keep him away from the hits on the outside.
We got a timeout here called by Gruden and the Raiders. We'll take a quick break and come back to Monday Night Football in Oakland. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by IBM. Let's put smart to work. Take it back to November of 2001. John Gruden, his only victory as Raiders head coach on Monday Night Football when he defeated the Broncos. And some of the legends here tonight. Ted Hendricks, four-time Super Bowl champ. Stick him with Lester Hayes, one of the great cornerbacks of the 70s and early 80s. And then the two-time Super Bowl champ, Jim Plunkett. Raiders royalty as the Al Davis Memorial Torch burns deep into the night of a tie game to finish up week 1 of the NFL season. Carr lofts it dangerously over the middle, and John Johnson almost had his second interception of the night.
Yeah, Derek Carr really tried to force that one down the field. He didn't have anything there. Lucky he just kind of got hit, left it a little short. It's interesting there on that last play. Wade Phillips adjusted and walked the linebacker out on Jared Cook, and then had Johnson in behind him. So he's giving him some attention now, playing it a little bit different.
Well, he's been targeted 8 times tonight, Wade. 6 receptions, 113 yards. He's tight to the line here towards the bottom of your screen now. 3rd and 10. Carr pressured, man in his face, and he had to throw it away. That was John Franklin Myers, the rookie from Stephen F. Austin, who they're very high on.
Interesting thing that the Rams did then. Cook has been a problem all night. So what does Wade Phillips do? If the linebacker or safety can't cover him, he put a key to lead on Jared Cook. Nice little switch up there by Wade Phillips, getting one of his best corners on Cooks, who's been giving him a lot of issues tonight.
So on comes the rookie punter, Johnny Townsend, one of three of 4 punters drafted. And he's the 3rd. And Cooper calls for the fair catch inside the 20. What kind of finish can Mr. Goff come up with in this second half? Stick around and find out. Monday Night Football in Oakland with aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. Joe Tessitore and Jason Witten upstairs. Our field level analyst Booger McFarland. And our veteran reporter Lisa Salters with a 13-13 game here between the Raiders and the Rams. Last year were 11-5, the first double-digit win season since 2003. Todd Gurley as he works his way back. And met Rogers Cromartie, and a gain of 6.
You know, you start to get the sense from this Rams offense. They were a little unsettled early. First drive coming out after halftime started to be Todd Gurley time. You get the sense they're going to get him to football now, guys.
Second and 4 as Goff checks and works Gurley, who's got green space and is able to go airborne ahead for a first down.
It's just so explosive what they're trying to do. Really, they need to give their defense a rest. They played okay. They just haven't had a lot of drives, a lot of opportunities. So they keep pounding it, and then, of course, that's when the play action comes in behind it.
And it's a simple running scheme, guys. Zone blocking, inside zone. And they allow Todd Gurley to pick and choose his holes, and he does an outstanding job of finding the holes in the seam.
You smelling play action with?
Well, they keep motioning him here. I think they're going to make him, force him to try to stop that run first, and then it comes.
They go back to the left side, and well blocked. And another first down. A flag is down, though, back at the 26. Let's see if this stands.
Holding. Offense. Number 65. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
That's what we would call too well blocked.
Yeah, and that's what you can't do when you're trying to establish your running game and you're backed up like that. It's just really hard to overcome it. Sullivan reaches him pretty good, and then you just can't throw him to the ground. I saw just can't throw him to the ground like that, and then they're going to call it.
I don't know about that one. I thought Sullivan got him hooked there with.
First down and 20 after the penalty. Goff's ears are going to be ringing for a few days after this one. Looking to really weave his way to make up some of that yardage back. Tackled by Markel Lee.
And even though Sean McVay is a young coach, he has veteran presence. He realized that the one guy who hasn't really got off tonight is Todd Gurley. He's the best three-down back in football. Let's get him the football any way we can. It's a concerted effort to get him the ball on this running game right now.
Here's the play action. And here's Goff going downfield, looking for Woods just beyond him. As Gilchrist and Nelson converge defensively.
Seeing Sean McVay taking his chances on second down. That's what he's trying to do. And now it's 3rd and 15. Paul Guenther, you see him there. He likes that. What he did, he said coming into this game, we can't allow them to be 3rd and short, 3rd and medium. These are the ones he likes. Like to get a big stop here.
Black hole cranked up on 3rd and 15. They're running high wattage. Drives it over the middle, and unable to keep his balance and turn the corner was Cooper Kupp, so they get 13 yards there. A couple yards short as Leon Hall made the contact against Kupp.
It's just a nice defense, a veteran defense by Paul Guenther. You throw it underneath. It doesn't matter if they get 13 or 14, as long as they don't get 15. Good call. Bring the punt team on, and the Raiders get the ball back. That's really, really good defense, even though they got 13 yards.
But they play the sticks. That's what they're taught. Play the sticks. Know where the first down line is, and keep them in front of that.
And talented Johnny Hecker on to punt for the Rams. As he goes directional and is going to get a heck of a pin inside the 10. Talk about flipping the field. Johnny Hecker with a great job. Derek Carr back to business. Look at his night so far. John Gruden said, I got tired of sitting in a dark room watching tape by myself. He's been watching a lot of tape as he's returned to be the coach of the Raiders. But without Chucky, look at that menacing doll. 16 seasons. They went through 9 different head coaches. Chucky doll getting the best of this thing. They had the 2nd worst winning percentage in the NFL. Better only than the Browns. Only 2 winning seasons. The 1 division title. But it has been a long stretch. And what a way to potentially open up the return of John Gruden by playing this Rams team with all the offseason hype. Tough tonight. And be hunting for a W here against them. 13-13. Their worst starting field position of the night for the Raiders. Ball on the 8. Marshawn Lynch trying to give them some breathing room, and he does that.
That's number 24, Marshawn Lynch.
6-yard run by Lynch.
14-yard line.
The hometown kid.
He's just running the football physical. When John Gruden got this job, one of the things he wanted to do was keep Marshawn Lynch in the fold because he knows he brings attitude and physical toughness. The Rams may be more talented, but John Gruden is controlling this game with Marshawn Lynch, the offensive line, and the physicality.
3 tights in, Whit.
Yeah, he's just going to keep pounding that rock and then potentially play action come off of it.
Good job by that Rams defensive front. So it'll be 3rd and short.
What's been going on tonight with the $100 million man, Aaron Donald, against Kelechi Osemele? One-on-one, you're going to have to get there a little quicker. He's been getting close, but he just hasn't quite gotten there. Great job by Osemele keeping Donald at bay for 2.5 seconds. But when you're targeted as a $100 million man and possibly the best player in football, a lot is expected of Aaron Donald. He's going to have to show up in this last quarter and a half.
$135 million with 87 guaranteed on that 6-year extension. And Donald doesn't have a tackle tonight. 3rd and 2. Carr. Pressure up the middle, steps forward, and there he goes down. Michael Brockers gets to him. First sack of the night for the Rams.
And they were trying to go to the quick game. Then Carr tries to step up, and then Brockers does it immediately and sees it. You're going to see him right there. He understands that that's the matchup he wants. He's got Gabe Jackson one-on-one, and they just work together. They think that ball's going to come out. Then Carr steps up. Brockers, high motor effort guy.
Remember, backup snapper here and punting from the goal line. And a good job by Townsend to get it away, but a punt that was short and fielded on the plus side as a flag is down as Cooper went after that ball. There's the rookie punter, Johnny Townsend. He's from Florida. Marquette King was released by the Raiders, the veteran, outrageous character, and Townsend replaced him.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 32. The 10-yard penalty will be assessed from the end of the kick. It's Los Angeles' ball, first down.
Now the Rams last year had 26 special teams penalties, and that was tied for the most in the league.
That hurts there just because you had field position. You know, potentially at midfield and then back you up.
With an offense that has seen Jared Goff with only 7 completions. 7 completions would be his fewest through 3 quarters in a game in his young career. Minute 42 to play here in the third of a tie game.
This
has been highly intriguing.
You'll see Jared Goff create some plays down the field.
Wonder if they're talking over the spot of this ball.
I think that's what it is. Spending a lot of time on it.
Ain't that the truth? You got to realize we got a good one going tonight, boys.
Sure do, Boog. And it's great to be with you and Jason and Lisa as we start this new broadcast family. And we're sitting at a 13-13 tied game with a Rams team that has been hyped up, all the acquisitions, the win now attitude against Gruden and the Raiders. And Gruden having taken a lot of criticism for trading Khalil Mack. And they are fired up here with the black hole roaring. Trying to feed the beast as Gurley pushes ahead to the 45 for 3 yards. Looked like they were getting into that rhythm, and then that penalty on that last drive pushed them back and got them out of sync with.
Yeah, and they're running the football well. I mean, Gurley's doing a good job hitting it, but what happens is at some point you get in the 3rd and manageable or 2nd and manageable, you got to find a play to strike down the field.
Play action, looking for the quick pass over the middle and gets it complete to Brandon Cooks. 17-yard reception by Cooks.
Goff has such a good, he's so comfortable just playing on that 5th step and letting it rip. And these linebackers, you saw Lee there, number 55, the linebacker. He just doesn't know where to fit it. He's being told, hey, get up there and stop the run against Gurley, but then having to play that zone coverage and the hook curl and the play action.
What'd you say earlier? Runs that look like passes, passes that look like runs. Keep them off balance. Here's play action. On 1st down, Goff, little pitch and catch again, and Cooks gets loose. And just like that, the Rams are in position.
Now the bag of tricks start to open up. You got a nice little zone fake to the left-hand side, and then he pulls it out. And he's just bringing Cooks on a nice little crossing route there. Got a levels concept. You had somebody short, intermediate, and deep. He took the intermediate guy in Brandon Cooks. The offense is starting to open up now for the Rams.
And Conley's playing man-to-man there. He's got to chase Brandon Cooks all the way across the field. It's hard to do.
Conley, the first-round pick out of Ohio State, who was off injured last year. Final seconds of the third quarter. Goff with time. Score it! Cup! Touchdown, Rams! Double zeros on the clock, and the Rams take the lead at the end of the third.
You're going to see Cooper Kupp. He's at the point. He just sells it so good. He hesitates, pretends like he's blocking, and Reggie Nelson doesn't know how to fit. And as soon as they stop their feet, he knows he can beat him off the edge. It's just the communication with it, what Cooper Kupp does so well, selling that running game first.
Coming off such a strong rookie season as Cooper Kupp. Set the Rams rookie record with 62 catches last year. And the 8-yard touchdown reception from the arm of Jared Goff. Great looking drive to take the touchdown lead. The Rams had 149 yards of offense in that third quarter, the Raiders 17, and they have a 20-13 lead over the Raiders to start the fourth quarter. Joe Tessitore, Jason Witten, Booger McFarland, Lisa Salters with you here on Monday Night Football, the capper to week 1 of the NFL season. So Cooper Kupp, the touchdown reception moments ago. And he grew up in Yakima, Washington. Dynamic young talent. There he is with the baby photo. Look at that helmet, the size of that helmet on his head there, Whit. He was the oldest of 4 children. He was always smaller than his teammates. In fact, he used to wear ankle weights under his jeans in high school just to try to get bigger. He wanted to grow into it. Boy, did he ever. He was a record breaker at Eastern Washington, and he has been special for the Rams.
He's a football playing Jesse, what he is. Such great awareness. I love the story about wearing the ankle weights underneath his jeans.
A problem that you and Boog never had in high school. Here's Carr off the hands of Richard. Flag is down. So the Rams had 10 unanswered third quarter points to take this 20-13 lead against Gruden and the Raiders.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense, number 50. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
You're going to see it going against a rookie. You just can't put that hand in the face mask like that. They're going to call it every time.
And rookie is Colton Miller out of UCLA, was the number 15 overall pick. He was an amazing talent at the combine. Broad jump 10 feet 1 inch at 6'8", 309 both. Huh. Carr, first down pass, quick out, Richard.
Here we go. The Raiders have kind of changed their philosophy here, guys. Marshawn Lynch is not in the game. Jalen Richard is. They were thumping him and pounding him a little bit. Now they're going to open the offense up. This is the first time they've trailed all game. Gruden is trying to open the offense up a little bit. Let's see how this goes.
But you know who's had a quiet night is Amari Cooper. Just 1 catch for 9 yards. He came in here as a big weapon. I know he's going against these tough corners and Peters and Talib. Be anxious to see if they take a shot to Cooper down the field.
Yeah, the game plan, you heard it all off season. He's to be the centerpiece of this passing offense. 2nd and 6. He motions in, does Cooper. They pitch to Richard. And tracking him down was Corey Littleton. There's big Aaron Donald coming back in. Last year's Defensive Player of the Year. 3-time first-team All-Pro.
Let's see, can the Rams get some edge pressure? A guy that Wade Phillips is loving is John Franklin Myers coming off the edge, number 94.
3rd down and 5. Roby Coleman is up against the line. There is Franklin Myers. Can he bring it? Carr. As he just throws it away. And they will be punting away. Ebuchan was closing. And they are not happy with that opportunity lost.
Yeah, I was surprised Derek Carr didn't try to extend that play a little bit, use his legs, and then find down the field. He just kind of threw it away right away.
Townsend on the punt. Cooper Kupp now the return man. It's a high arcing turned over punt, and Kupp calls for the fair catch as a flag cascades down at the 27. Carr 21 of 29 tonight for just over 200 yards. Had that one interception that he threw to the end zone.
During the kick, holding, return team number 32. The 10-yard penalty will be assessed from the end of the kick. It's Los Angeles' ball, first down, timeout.
It's their ball with a touchdown lead on the road in Oakland. The big 13-year veteran left tackle Andrew Whitworth for the Rams is wearing the Monday Night Mic.
All right, they're going to need more than that. Hey, we're going to explode in this next half now. Let's go! Let's go now. Let's turn it up. Let's go. Let's go, Nikhil.
Now, they typically do turn it up come the fourth quarter with a lead. Last season, they averaged an NFL high 9 minutes and 13 seconds of time of possession in the fourth quarter.
And that's why he was brought here. Obviously, he's a dynamic player, left tackle, protecting that blind side of Jared Goff, but the veteran presence that he brings. I mean, he's older than the head coach, and he just provides it every day in practice, in communication. Great for this football team.
And he's 36. McVay's 32 years old.
Feed Todd Gurley here.
Play action. And they come back with a screen to Gurley, who nearly lost his balance and then works his way for a gain of 3 as Whitehead made the tackle.
That's the area of the field that he's been so good at, is that screen game. They try to do it. You're right, Boat. Feed him. Just feed him a little bit different. And they find different ways to get it to him. He was so good in the screen game last year. That's an area that's just trying to get him in open space, Joe.
That's one of the ways they really helped him last year, is utilizing the screen game. Back to it. And here's Gurley. And look at the blockers in front. I mean, Sullivan was downfield trying to find somebody. So 17 yards from Gurley there.
They just do it so many different ways. I mean, you call a screen, it doesn't work, and then you come back and run it again. It's from the same formations.
Some of the best play callers call the same play back to back because the defense does not expect it.
Malcolm Brown now in at running back. And here is Brown. Third season out of Texas. This has one career start. Started last year, week 17 against 49ers when things were wrapped up.
And that's the power of the play action. We keep talking about it, but really what it is that if it's not there, he takes a look down the field, dump it to your back. He gets 9 yards, and then 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2. Goff he's very comfortable playing in that offense.
Saw Farrell Cooper go into the locker room. That's why we saw Cooper Kupp as the punt returner. 3 straight completions to running backs. What will they offer up here on 2nd and 1 as Brown remains in? Goff. Downfield, too high for the intended target, Robert Woods.
Robert Woods, the intended receiver.
This is a critical time for this Raider defense. You get the feeling that this Ram offense is moving. They're starting to feed Todd Gurley. He's starting to get going. Who's going to step up and make a play for this Raider defense? Khalil Mack is in Chicago. Somebody's got to step up and make a play for Paul Gunther.
Gurley back in on 3rd and 1. They're only 1 of 6 on 3rd downs tonight.
This is the communication. It's a lot like college. I mean, he's looking over the sideline, seeing what look they're in, and then they bang the timeout.
Yeah, you make that comment. It's a lot like college. We had a conversation with McVay about how much communication does go on with Goff in the helmet. And Goff was kind of funny about it. Hey, you know, sometimes we're just talking. Sometimes I just like to hear him.
And that's what he does. He says, you know, 90% of the time, it's really good information that he's giving me. But sometimes I just have to tune him out because it's overload, information overload. I think just Sean loves ball, like all great coaches do. And you see it there. I mean, 2nd and 2, 2nd and long 1. He calls a play action. He doesn't just take the first down because he's confident in his group and knows that, okay, I like our chances in 3rd down.
You know, I think the players appreciate that style there, Boog.
No doubt
He's a young guy. They like the aggressive style.
Yes, the aggressive. How aggressive will he be here on 3rd and 1?
Gurley. And that effort goes for 2 and will give them the first down.
Carry number 15. Gain of 2. Good for a Rams first down.
You see McVay going at the line of scrimmage. He's getting a little off tempo now. Feels like they got a little momentum.
Been an 11 personnel a lot tonight. Play action out of it. Downfield wanting it. Can he get it? Just beyond the grasp of a Superman flying Robert Woods as he was covered by Rashaan Melvin.
So like those are long foul balls, you know, just barely misses. But I tell you what, they're getting past this back end. You know, it's just a matter of just inches on connecting on these. But you see how they're going right past the Melvin there. They're running deep, and just that mindset plays to Goff's strengths.
And if you're this Raider defense, they're coming downhill at you. Who's going to step up and make a play? More importantly, is Paul Guenther going to dial up a blitz to try to get this Raider offense, or this Ram offense, behind the chains?
Goff on 2nd down, complete. Good looking ball that time as he gets it to Cooks again. 14 more yards for Cooks.
Brandon Cooks on the reception. His 3rd.
Cooks is just such a precise route runner. I mean, that ball's on him so quick. The trust. He played with Drew Brees in New Orleans, Tom Brady in New England. He's been trained well, and he's got great route running ability.
Here the check call from Goff, clear as day. Ran out of options as Maurice Hurst, a rookie from Michigan, was tracking.
You know what I love
Hurst
about
is one of the 3 rookie defensive linemen for the Raiders with. You got the 2 guys on the inside, Hurst and Hull, and then Arden Key, the edge rusher from LSU.
Yeah, Arden Key. They think he can be a pass rusher. They really think he can fill that void. I mean, I hate to say, you know, that you can't replace a guy like Khalil Mack. You can't do it, but they think Arden Key can bring some pressure off the edge.
Second and 10 to the outside to Woods.
And this is when the pass rush just really affects you. I mean, you got Derek Johnson, the middle linebacker, covering Robert Woods. It's zone coverage. They're banking on somebody getting the quarterback off script. That's what they're banking on. It's zone coverage. Tick, 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 tick. And Robert Woods just runs by him. I mean, he's going to win on that matchup. The rush has got to get home to take the pressure off the secondary and the linebacker.
And Boog, this defense needs to stop, and needs it now.
Somebody needs to make a play. You got backup defensive linemen in. They have to step up and make a play. With Guenther blitz, you got double A gap. 2 guys lined up in the A gap. He's trying to force the issue.
They bring Johnson, and it's batted down at the line. That was Tahir Whitehead getting his hand up there.
The line of scrimmage. Number 59, Tahir Whitehead.
Paul Guenther does such a good job. He's got him right here, his guy, Whitehead. He's going to blitz on that, and they just, when they line them up in the A-gaps, they can drop all of them, They can blitz him. He learned that under Mike Zimmer up in Minnesota during their time at Cincinnati. And it is so hard for offensive line and quarterbacks to communicate with that pressure.
Remember, Zerline missed off the dirt earlier. This from 55 from the infield. And he puts it through. A 55-yard field goal for a double-digit lead. How will the Raiders answer? Find out when we return. How about this for the Saturday prime time on ABC? It'll be number 4 Ohio State against 15th ranked TCU. With a Euro stomping grounds, AT&T Stadium, and coverage will start at 8 Eastern. Also on the ESPN app. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Maria Taylor on the call. Derek Carr and then Raiders offense now in a 10-point hole. Look at the first half compared to the struggles of the second half.
Yeah, you're going to see it right there. I mean, the biggest difference is he hadn't had a lot of attempts, but Jared Cook was his guy in the first half. He hasn't been targeted here in the second half. Somebody's going to step up on the outside. I'm looking for Amari Cooper, Jordy Nelson, try to get a shot on one of these guys down the field.
All right, Cooper only with a 1 catch tonight. Richard didn't turn his head around as Carr had released the ball.
And if you're the Raiders, where's the tempo at? Get the tempo going. Early in the game, they had a lot of success with tempo, getting the Rams at the line of scrimmage, making them play a lot of plays. You're down 10. You're going to need multiple possessions. You have to move the game along, getting more possessions here.
And not only move the game along, but you got to get vertical in your passing attack.
2nd and 10. Carr, a little bit of pressure, so he checks down to Richard, who's quickly wrapped up. And Big Ndamukong Suh was among those with Corey Littleton making the tackle.
You saw the throw to the flat for 1 yard, incompletion, checks it down again. That small ball is not going to work in this situation now. 4th quarter, down 10. It's not the same game that it was in the first half.
3rd and 7.
Watch the game.
Now that small ball has them in a 3rd down hole. Here's Carr with time over the middle and complete to the reliable Jared Cook. What a night he's had. Back to business, carrying Rams defenders for 32 yards.
He's just running this crossing right down the middle. He feels the soft zone. And see how he settles in there, and Derek Carr feels. He feels it with him. For a veteran tight end, finding those soft spots and then attacking.
Carr backed up. Picked off. How sloppy was that? Corey Littleton with the interception. Flag is down on the return, and Carr is going to be so upset with himself. So is that guy.
I just don't know how in the world that happens there. Just threw it up.
During the interception return, illegal block in the back, number 41 of the intercepting team. That penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It's Los Angeles' ball, 1st down.
What a costly mistake. The last thing that should have happened, and it did. Littleton picks it. Somebody wants an explanation. Calmly discussing that interception. That's hard to understand what Derek Carr was possibly thinking or looking for there. With
I think he was telling him, if you're going to stay front side, stay there. Don't try to go back weak.
So the Rams take over with a 10-point lead, and Todd Gurley should get plenty of work.
And you're going to see Jalen Richard's going to come up and come in, and then Jordy Nelson's just going to run a comeback right here. And because of the soft zone, it's not going to allow him to do it. And that's what's so tough about this entire play. He just needs to dump it down to his back Richard. He sees Jordy Nelson on the comeback and tries to throw it.
Here's Goff off of play action to the outside. And that was out of bounds as he was trying to connect with Brandon Cooks again. Cooks has had a nice night, 83 yards.
I like the play call by Sean McVay. Most coordinators, 10-point lead, under 8 minutes, they just run the football. He's saying, you know what? I'm going to stay aggressive and continue to push the football down the field. Nice job by Sean McVay.
Creates an opportunity, of course, with a 3rd and 7 for that Oakland defense to walk off the field if they can find a way to stop Goff and Gurley here.
Who's going to get some pressure up front for Oakland?
Complete for a 1st down as Cooper Kupp secures it.
What a catch by Cooper Kupp, though. I mean, you see this guy, he's a slot receiver, but he's tough as nails, Joe. I mean, he makes these catches. He comes out of his break so well. Goff has confidence in him. You're going to see it right there, going up at the highest point. Melvin is just on his back. He has to react to him. Cooper Kupp's got great awareness and instincts, not only in the slot, but outside as well.
Must be those ankle weights.
Worked out well for him.
He's got 5 catches, 3 of them on 3rd down. They bring in 3 tights here. Going to pass on 1st down. To your point, Boog, about staying fairly aggressive even with the 10-point margin.
Yeah, no need to settle the football. Let's stay aggressive, safe plays. I'm pretty sure McVay is telling him, hey, don't take any chances. If it's not open, throw it out of bounds like you just did. We'll come back 2nd and 10. How aggressive does he get now? That's what I want to see. Are you going to give the football to Gurley, or do you stay aggressive in the pass game?
But going back to that last play, I mean, this guy is so bright, Sean McVay. I mean, he's as bright as coach as there is, not named Belichick out there. I mean, literally run a play action to Todd Gurley down the field.
You are all the way in on McVay.
Aggressive mindset on offense.
And with good reason to be. And then there's this guy, Todd Gurley, straight ahead for 23 yards.
Watch him hit it, though, the zone play. And I tell you, a lot of offense coordinators say, well, you give me a running back like that, I'll be aggressive, too, as a play caller. I mean, it just goes hand in hand, works together, the zone scheme, the play actions, and then he formates them to where they look the same.
And up and over Marcus Gilchrist.
The Ram offensive line is coming off the football, especially on that right side. Center John Sullivan, who makes all the calls. Austin Blythe, Rob Havenstein. Those guys are physically coming off the ball right now, and they're mauling the interior of the Raiders' defensive line.
You know, you saw Gilchrist underneath Gurley at the end of that play, and the medical staff is out there taking a look at him. Let's watch if Gurley's knee. Yeah, that's it. Saw that knee drive up and get to the side of the helmet. As they help Gilchrist to his feet. Spent time with the Chargers, played out his rookie deal there. Went on to the Jets for a couple years. Spent last year with the Texans, and then 1-year deal with the Raiders. 8th season out of Clemson for Gilchrist.
Just amazed by the running backs in the league right now. I mean, 15, 20 yards down the field, and they're hurdling guys. And I played with Ezekiel Elliott. He was so good at it. We saw it this weekend. Todd Gurley doing the same thing. They're just so athletic.
Clock counting down as we are under 6 minutes. This is where the Rams excelled last year, closing it out in the 4th quarter. And you mentioned running backs in the league and guys we were impressed with yesterday. How about James Conner, the replacement for Le'Veon Bell? Went for 192 yards from scrimmage for the Steelers.
It's just the next man up mentality, Joe. Everyone talked about Le'Veon Bell and him not being there. Conner took it as an opportunity for himself to come in and make a statement. And you saw his offensive line. They were so happy for this young man who's battled cancer, and now he's living his dream playing pro football.
Malcolm Brown checks in as the running back for the Rams here on 2nd and 8. Coming up on the 5-minute mark. And Brown will take it inside the 30.
You know, one of the things about Todd Gurley, though, what makes him so good, he really does get better as the game goes on. I mean, tonight he does 74 of his 93 yards rushing in the second half. And that's what he does. As the game unfolds, he doesn't get tired. He wants that ball more and more and more. Just keep feeding him.
The perfect tool for a team like this. A team that is expected to often be in this kind of position. Loaded roster, Super Bowl aspirations, the win now attitude, and the hot young offensive play caller in the league in Sean McVay.
Raiders night to get a stop here.
Out of the backfield comes Brown. 8 more yards. That turnaround in year number 1 under Sean McVay. Keep in mind what they were just a couple of years ago. 4-12, only 14 points per game. In comes McVay. Goff settles in. Gurley is dynamic. 11 wins, head to the postseason, and just under 30 points a game. And in the Super Bowl era, the modern era, the first to go from last to number 1 in points per game, the Rams did it. What a turnaround. Gurley testing that left side, a stiff arm, and something extra. As you said, gets better and better and better.
Yeah, and that's what this Rams offense is built like. They're going to have an aggressive mindset, but then they're going to take what the defense gives them. And that's what Sean McVay did. He simplified this passing game for Jared Goff. 1-2 progression reads. He's not asking him to read the entire field like a Peyton Manning or such. And then he's going to do it with his running game. Take that pressure, and then he's an accurate passer.
And never had a chance, as Bruce Irvin read it well. But this is a 10-play drive of 62 yards, coming up on 4 minutes and trying to put the nail right in the coffin.
You know, talk about Gurley, it's the number of touches that he's gotten. Sometimes Sean McVay, he's a great play caller, but sometimes he gets a little pass happy. I thought they were that way in the first half. In the second half, there's been a concerted effort to get Todd Gurley the football, and in my opinion, that's the reason this game has changed around.
And with that, book, this is the third 10-play drive of the half for the Rams. Threw it to the inside of Brandon Cooks. A 4-yard reception, as that clock will go under 4 minutes.
Being able to eat the clock like this, though, I mean, if they can score, then that changes the game a little bit. But, I mean, just eating the clock like this, it puts so much pressure on the Raiders when they get it back. They're hoping they can hold them to a field goal. It's still a 2-score game, but it's so hard at that point.
And Derek Carr can only look on after throwing that interception. And now the Rams offense just bleeding this thing as they march down the field. 3rd and goal, play clock ticking down, and a timeout called by McVay and the Rams.
You know, guys, if you look down here on the sideline, you can almost see the life coming out of the Raiders sideline. Players are coming off the field with their head down. They're shaking their heads at their coaches. Like, we've given it all we have, but right now the better team is starting to wear us down. The energy that this stadium brought is now gone, and you're starting to see the better football team with the better talent take over here in the 4th quarter.
And what energy there was from the Black. I mean, Boog, you're down there at field level, hovering above it all. This place was rocking for 3 quarters.
I mean, the roof was about to come off if there was a roof. I mean, it's unreal, Joe, the energy that John Gruden's return brought to this place tonight. And in the first half, I thought the Raiders played a lot off emotion. Gruden controlled the football game. In the second half, the game got away from him a little bit. He couldn't hold the football, and this Rams offensive line took over the game.
Third and goal. He's looked to cup Coffin on 3rd downs tonight, but they will keep it on the ground with this scenario. As P.J. Hall just went out to grab the jersey of Gurley. I believe the Raiders called the timeout here. Their second timeout. 3:18 remaining. USAA and the NFL pay tribute to our armed forces through the salute to service. Derek Johnson's father, Wayne, who's wore the Navy Commendation Medal, acts of heroism during the Vietnam War, saved the life of a fellow shipmate. And Brandon Cooks, Worth Cook Sr., his dad, served in the Marines for 4 years. Worth Cook Sr. passed away when Brandon was only 6 years old. Brandon's had a big night. He's a big part of what should be a very successful offense for the Rams this year. Zerline is on to attempt the short field goal.
20-yard field goal.
Pro Bowler who returns after undergoing season-ending back surgery last December, as he puts it through. And that was a useful, long, time-consuming drive for the Rams to move the margin to a 13-point lead.
You know, guys, one of the issues I've seen tonight, yes, the Rams offense has gotten going, but when you look at it from the Raiders defensive point of view, where's the pass rush? We all knew Khalil Mack is gone. Which one of the young rookies is going to step up and force Jared Goff to throw the football? He's just got too much time. He's sitting back in the pocket, patting the football over and over and over. You have to make this quarterback uncomfortable, and unfortunately for the Raiders, they haven't been able to do that tonight. No Khalil Mack has been a big issue. Some of the young guys have to step up for the Raiders defense.
You know, for me, though, Boog, it was on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, they were able to run the ball in the first half. It was the turnovers. Derek Carr had the play to Cook in the end zone. They got intercepted, took away points. We saw the interception here in the second half where it just, we don't really know where he was throwing that. That was when the momentum changed. They were moving the football. They were protecting enough, and the ball was coming out. But when you get behind against a good offense like that, it's hard to recover.
You know, we've mentioned Khalil Mack a lot tonight. Of course, he's nowhere to be found. But don't worry, you guys are going to be spending a lot of time with him next weekend, getting ready for Monday Night Football next week with Seattle at Chicago. Two teams that could have, maybe should have come away with wins yesterday. Seattle, a couple missed field goals, the loss at Denver, close competitive game, and then this all-time comeback that Aaron Rodgers pulled off against Chicago. I mean, Rodgers was so sensational. You know, the Packers were 0-107 in franchise history when trailing by at least 17 points entering the fourth quarter, and yet they found a way to do that. As Carr's going to check down to Richard.
Talk about Rodgers. What a gutsy performance by him.
Oh, Derek Carr is slow to get up. As gutsy as it gets with. He's going to limp his way back to the line here. You know, Longacre's just turning off to the side there. One of the points of emphasis is not having the body weight come down on a quarterback any longer in the league. As he gets it again to Jared Cook, who is having a huge night with his stat line.
You're seeing Wade Phillips' defense, though. They're just playing soft zone, making them throw it underneath, come up and rally and tackle. With where the time is, in a two-score game like that, they're going to continue to play this style of defense.
Richard quickly steps out.
You know, and if you're a Raider fan, one of the bright spots tonight has been Jared Cook. I think John Gruden is going to use this young man throughout the season. He's a matchup nightmare for most linebackers and most safeties in this league. So if you look at the positive side, the offensive line and Marshawn Lynch and Jared Cook have played well tonight along with Derek Carr.
153 yards from Cook. Picked off. Marcus Peters. Strutting his stuff and back splashing in. Pick six, Rams.
This guy's an instinctive ball player. Nobody's got more interceptions than him over the course of the last 3 years, and that's why they brought him here. We talked about Cook. One of the guys we haven't said much tonight was Amari Cooper, because Peters was on him so much, but he sees it. He's chasing it across there. He's just his instinct. When the ball's in the air, he goes for it. He's not just trying to pass deflect it. I mean, he wants interceptions. Les Snead talked about they wanted to get lockdown corners. And we're seeing it tonight with what we have in Talib and Peters.
What is it about pick sixes tonight on Monday Night Football? Jets and Detroit opened up with one. The Jets got the better of the Lions with one of their own. And now to seal the night, the pick six here from Marcus Peters. The 6th pick six of the NFL weekend. Think about that. Derek Carr, a regrettable fourth quarter.
I'm Scott Van Pelt. Coming up after the game on the GMC post-game report, you will hear from John Gruden live at the podium after his return to the National Football League, and we'll break down the debut of Sam Darnold. He and that Jet defense combined for a blowout win. Back to you, Tess.
Marcus Peters has 6 more interceptions than any other NFL player since 2015, and he just took one to the house against Derek Carr.
You saw him. He just anticipated. He saw Cook coming on the drag. It's one thing to be instinctive. It's another thing to be a ball hawk and to be able to go get it and then change the game. He just, the swag that these guys have brought to this defense. I mean, you see it all the time the way they play. They're aggressive. They're smart. They're tough. He can come up and tackle.
23 unanswered second half points.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing. They took over in the second half. Veteran players and attitude with, they're bringing it.
Now the Rams were celebrating that pick six, including our guy with the Monday Night Mike, Big Andrew Whitworth.
Yeah! Yeah, baby! Yeah!
And Whit, he's a part of why they're taking the air out of the football with that lead here, taking care of business. Remember what we said about time of possession with the Rams and their ability? Richard, nice run here to close out games like this. Fourth quarter time of possession before that play. Flag is down there. Nearly 9 minutes for the Rams.
Yeah, and they do it with that offensive line. Todd Gurley gets better as the game goes on. But think about that. I mean, almost 9 minutes of time of possession. That's hard to do. And they just get better as the game goes on.
Offense, number 87, 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
But I love seeing Big Whitworth running down the field. You know, you don't think he's happy to have a corner like that join his team? He said, you know, I'm the veteran guy. I've been brought in here, but these guys want to be good. Young players, they want to be coached hard. And Sean McVay told us that too. All the great ones want to be coached. And that's what you're seeing with this group.
And people wondered how Talib and Peters would fit in. I think that reaction by Whitworth shows you they've accepted. They've accepted those guys. The personalities are all here. This team has a lot of talent. But I think the biggest difference this year is that swag, that personality. They realize people are hunting them now. They're on the mission to get to the Super Bowl, and I think they're well equipped to do it.
Yeah, they've got the personnel to do it, that's for sure. Everywhere you look on this Rams roster, and some of the production they even got out of the questionable spot at linebacker tonight has them feeling pretty good. Corey Littleton was all over the place.
He really was. I mean, Wade Phillips told us, he said he was ready for this opportunity. I mean, sideline to sideline. He's athletic. He was a college free agent. You know, he comes in here and he's played really well tonight. I saw him early in that toss sweep, how he closed. I mean, that's what you want. That speed to close and tackle.
And he had that fourth quarter interception. John Johnson had an interception. Marcus Peters moments ago, the pick six. Wade Phillips defense finding the answers here in this second half as the big night continues for Cook. Former Rams tight end, 31-year-old who's 6'5", 254, and is playing some inspired ball tonight.
Derek Carr will just get back in the lab. He'll be there early in the morning. You know, this relationship's going to continue to build. He has all those tools. He's got to learn from his mistakes. He certainly made some big mistakes tonight, but John will continue to mold him, and that relationship will develop. This is only the first outing.
3 interceptions thrown by Carr tonight. As he gets it to Derek Carrier.
And guys, here's the scary thing. The Rams did this tonight, and how many times have we called Aaron Donald's name? That's the scary thing for the rest of the NFL.
dominating second half by the Rams. Goff with the 2 touchdown passes. Gurley went for 108 yards. Sports Center with SVP is coming your way. Going to talk about Darnold's Jets debut. And, of course, size up things that happen here in Oakland. SVP will give us his full take on Week 1 in the NFL and the worst beats of the weekend. Sports Center with SVP coming up in moments when we finish up here in Oakland. So much fun to have the NFL back in gear. Patrick Mahomes looked like something yesterday, didn't he? Young gun for the Chiefs, and then Aaron Rodgers, that dynamic effort at night, and then the double dip of Monday Night Football before we head to Chicago next week to see Khalil Mack against Russell Wilson and Seattle. Peters capped it with the pick 6. Carr with costly turnovers. The Rams explode in the second half to win it 33-13. Next week, we're going to be in Chicago. Bears against the Seahawks. Stay tuned for the GMC postgame on Sports Center. For Jason Witten, Booger McFarland, Lisa Salters, I'm Joe Tessitore. Enjoy the rest of your night with Scott Van Pelt and Sports Center.
Thank you, Tess. Plenty more on the Raiders and the Rams, including John Gruden's reaction to what is obviously a disappointing conclusion to his first game back. Plus, Sam Darnold gets the headlines. What was behind the dominant defensive performance, though, for those Jets? And the segment that you hate to love, a pile of bad beats from college football this weekend. Sports Center begins right after this.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.